The Midnight Mass. When Andrew Thompson took up his new position as caretaker of St. Bartholomew's Church, a 19th-century stone building nestled on the outskirts of the quiet village of Milford, he was eager to begin. The role was simple enough: maintain the grounds, ensure everything was in order for the morning services, and most importantly, lock up the church at night. On his first evening, just as the final rays of sunlight filtered through the stained glass windows, the parish secretary, Mrs. Collins, handed Andrew a heavy iron key and gave him a piece of advice that lingered uneasily in his mind. "Whatever happens," she said with a cautious glance toward the chapel doors, "don't interrupt the midnight hour." He laughed it off at first, thinking it some local superstition or joke meant to haze the new caretaker. But later that night, just past 11, as he finished his rounds and made his way to lock the main doors, he heard it, faint organ music, echoing from inside the sanctuary. Confused and more than a little curious, Andrew pushed open the doors and stepped into the darkened nave. The church was empty, or so it seemed. Then he saw him. A tall figure in faded priestly robes stood at the altar, chanting in Latin with a voice that wavered like candlelight. The man moved with solemn purpose, performing each part of the Mass with precision. And though the air was still, a sudden chill swept through the pews. Andrew's instinct told him to flee, but something held him in place. When the figure finally turned, the flickering light revealed a pale, gaunt face, one Andrew recognized from an old portrait in the sacristy. It was Father Elias Monroe, a beloved priest who had died mysteriously over a decade earlier. The next morning, Andrew confronted Mrs. Collins. "You saw him," she said, not surprised. "He's still saying Mass." She nodded slowly. "Every night at midnight, since the night he passed. They say he died with a heavy burden, some secret sin he never confessed. Now he offers the Mass again and again, seeking forgiveness. Until he finds peace, he cannot leave." Andrew remained in his post, and though he never again entered the church at midnight, he often heard the low murmur of prayers and the distant strains of the organ. He never doubted what he saw that night. In Milford, the faithful still whispered of Father Monroe's ghostly vigil and of the caretaker who first bore witness to the Mass of the dead.